This lesson will focus on parallel and perpendicular lines and how we can use that information to write equations of lines. When we talk about parallel and perpendicular lines, we need to know that parallel lines have matching slopes. That is, there are two lines that have the same exact steepness. If m sub 1 and m sub 2 represent the slopes of two non-vertical parallel lines, then the slopes have to be the same. Perpendicular lines first mean two lines that intersect at a right angle. They have slopes that are negative reciprocals. If m1 and m2 represent the slopes of the two lines, then m sub 1 is equal to the negative reciprocal of m sub 2. Let's say this: if the slope of one line is equal to 2/3, then the slope of the line perpendicular to it has to be the opposite sign and the reciprocal of that fraction. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. And you can check that their product then would be -1, which is what another way to write this, at m1 times m2 has to be -1. But to apply it, think about negative reciprocals. And you can see that if one of the lines is increasing, that has a positive slope, for the other line to be perpendicular, it has to be going in the opposite direction, so it would be a negative slope. Also, for the slopes to be reciprocals means that one line's rise as the other lines run, and vice versa. In these examples, the slope of a line is given, and we want to determine what is the slope of a line parallel and perpendicular to the given line, if possible. If the given line has a slope of -3/8, the one parallel to it has the same slope, which is also -3/8. The slope of a line perpendicular to it has to be the negative reciprocal. We change the sign to positive and take the reciprocal of the fraction to be 8/3. If the slope is 20, a parallel line also has a slope of 20. A line perpendicular would be the negative reciprocal. So we change the sign to be negative. The reciprocal of 20/1 is 1/20. If a line has a slope of 0, a line parallel to it is also a slope of 0. A line perpendicular to it would be the reciprocal of 0, but if you invert that, that's going to be 1 divided by 0, which is undefined. The sign really doesn't matter in that case because we can't find it anyway. You'll have to use this information to write equations of lines. This time we're given the equation of a line, or we want to write the equation of a line that passes through -1, 2 and is parallel to the line y minus 3x equals 4. Two pieces of information we must have to write the equation of a line is the line slope and a point. We know the point is -1, 2. To get the slope of the line, we're going to use the fact that it's parallel to y minus 3x equals 4. Because our lines are parallel, we're going to have to use the same slope as what is given in the equation. Y minus 3x equals 4. If we solve that for y, we get y equals 3x plus 4. The given line has a slope of 3. A line parallel to it will also have a slope of 3. I'm going to designate that with a m sub two lines that are parallel to each other, that's the symbol for parallel lines, is equal to 3. To write the equation of the line, we can use the point slope or the slope-intercept form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. We get y minus 2 equals our slope 3 times x minus negative 1, which will change that to x plus 1. Distributing, we get y minus 2 equals 3x plus 3. Then we can add 2 to get y equals 3x plus 5. To check our work, we want to make sure that the point negative 1, 2 satisfies this equation. We want to see if 2 does equal 3 times negative 1 plus 5. And that checks, because that's negative 3 plus 5, which is 2. Another example is to give the equation of a line that passes through 6, 8 and is perpendicular to the line defined by 2y plus 5x equals 10. To write our equation, we need a slope and a point. Our point is given. To find the slope, we need to find the negative reciprocal of the slope of the given line. We solve the equation that's given for y to get 2y equals negative 5x plus 10. Divide by 2, y equals negative 5 halves x plus 5. The slope of the given line is negative 5 halves. The slope of the line perpendicular to it is the negative reciprocal. Since the given slope is negative, the slope of the perpendicular line is positive, and we flip the fraction. So think of flip the sign, flip the fraction. Now we have the slope and a point. To get the equation, we substitute into the point slope form. This gives us y minus 8 equals 2/5 times x minus 6. Y minus 8 equals 2/5 x minus 12/5. Now we add 8 to each side. But when we add 8, we will have to combine it with a negative 12/5. A common denominator is 5. 8 is really 40 divided by 5. We get y equals 2/5 x plus 28/5. To check, if we substitute 6 for x, 2/5 times 6 plus 28/5 is 12/5 plus 28/5, which is 40/5 or 8. So we've done our work correctly.